You know a toddler tantrum can be like negotiating with a tiny tornado, but experts say tantrums are actually healthy, and there are ways to manage them without losing your cool. Janae Norman has tips on how to get them under control faster. If you're a parent with a toddler, you know about tantrums. Child therapist and mom of 2, Dina Margolin, along with parenting coach and mom of 3, Kristen Galland, are the mommy mastermind behind Big Little Feelings. With 3.5 million followers, they offer real tips for real mom and dads, especially those looking to tame tantrums and manage the meltdowns. So you're telling me it doesn't have to be that hard?
It doesn't have to be that hard.
A common trigger for little ones, transitioning from one activity to another. So they say first thing to do, okay the feeling.
Let's use the iPad, closing of the iPad as the example. It would be, I hear that you're sad, that iPad is all done. It's okay to feel sad.
Then set the boundary.
You're gonna stay firm on that boundary of no more iPad time, no matter how hard they push or cry.
You can watch more shows tomorrow. Sound good?
Yeah. And finally, shift to the yes.
It's time to go outside. Do you want to play bubbles or do you want to do sandbox? You're taking their brains from no, 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 no to I get to go choose and do this next thing.
Do you want to walk or do you want me to carry you?
To help stop tantrums before they even begin, their followers rave about the timer trick.
Let's say we're going from outside play, which is really fun, to lunchtime, less fun. So we're gonna let them know what's going to happen. Next, we're gonna set a timer. You're going to let them push that button to start the timer because it feels then like it's their decision.
You wanna press the timer?
They're involved, they're in control.
Okay, go play.
When the timer goes off,
Timer!
have your toddler push the off button. This can work like magic.
Okay, notice this. They're like, oh, Mom, did you hear the timer?
That's fantastic. Those are some really great tips, and joining us now with more tips on parenting is expert Ericka Souter. Ericka, it's so nice to see you, as always, to break this stuff down. Every kid's different, we know this, right? And sometimes in the middle of that meltdown, you just don't feel like you have control. What's the biggest mistake you see parents making there?
The biggest mistake is they try to shut it down too quickly, right? So they give in to the bribe or they give in to whatever the child wants. And that is not what we need to do. This is a great opportunity to teach them emotional regulation, right? So one of the first things that you want to do is be calm, if you can, right? And remember that no one in Costco is judging you as much as you think. Number 2, you want to give a name to their emotion. So I know you're really upset that we're leaving the park. I know it makes you sad, right? Number 3, hold firm to that boundary or that rule.
Yes.
You don't want to give into it because that's just teaches them that
Yes.
if they throw a tantrum, they're going to get what they want. And then I also like to give kids a little bit of a choice. You know, we got to go to the car now. Do you want to skip to the car or do you want to walk backwards to the car? And that can kind of distract them from those big emotions that they're feeling at that moment.
Okay, so the timer trick we just saw there, great trick. But it's not going to work for every kid, right? What happens if a child just ignores it or it makes them more upset?
Right. So the timer sometimes is going to get ignored like every other brilliant parenting hack. So you want to be able to switch gears. Again, I like giving them a low stakes choice. You know, we have to eat lunch now, but after lunch, you get to choose what we do. Do you want to blow bubbles or do you want to build something? And that way the child feels a sense of control in the structure that you've set for them.
How about for parents who are exhausted and feel like they're losing control of the situation? What's your best advice for them to help themselves regulate in real time?
Right. You know, it's really tough being a parent. And when you have a child who is not doing what you say or having a meltdown, it can be really, really frustrating. So you still want to try to be calm, right? Hold firm to that boundary. Again, you don't want to give in. And if you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself, this isn't the end of the world. This is a little child who's having trouble managing their emotions, right? And you might want to take a couple minutes, or a couple seconds actually, to count to 10 to relax yourself and give yourself time to step away. And remember, you're not just managing a meltdown, you're modeling emotional regulation. So even if it looks looks messy, it's still a win.
I'm not yet a parent, but I feel like I'm going to be so prepared. Just
Oh,
Yes.
no.
You're
And then
flashing
once it happens,
I got
right.
all you to
You
guide.
get all this advice, but then it happens and you're like,
and then
wow,
it all
what do I
goes out
do?
the window.
Yes,
Well, at least,
of
you know,
course.
best intentions. Well, thank you so much, Ericka, for being here as always.